This is NewsDesk. Thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Jason Miller, here with
Heather Wilson.
Hi, Heather.
Hi, Jason.
How was your week?
I had a really good week. It was fun, exciting. The sun was shining. Perfect week.
For those of you in different parts of the country, it's almost summer here, but still kind of cool, which I find pleasant.
Yeah, I enjoy the nice cooling. You know, the sundown, I want a little bit of a breeze. Just so I can enjoy the heat, but also be very comfortable.
Right, but it's, say, 40s at night.
Yeah.
Maybe gets up to 60s or even 70 during the day.
Yeah, it should be like 70 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yes.
Going outside.
That's very nice. But now I understand that you were again featured in a magazine.
Yes, thanks to my awesome, talented group and my team that I worked with, I am featured on 3 separate pages in Dark Beauty magazine. Pretty cool.
That's the name of it, Dark Beauty.
Yeah, Dark Beauty magazine.
I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, they have a Facebook page. They're really wonderful. This is the Steampunk edition that I'm in, so it's a little bit different than their everyday fashion magazine. It's a steampunk editorial, strictly steampunk.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, why not show our viewers the cover and the 3 shots of you?
Okay, sure. This is the magazine here, and it is Dark Beauty, and it's awesomely illustrated. And then if you open, I am on starting on page 66, and I'll open it to that. Oh my goodness. Let me just validate that I'm the blonde. It's me, the blonde. Ami is the other model. There I am again, sitting, wearing RFD by Rachel Frank, amazing Chicago designer. All steampunk stuff too. So steampunk jewels, steampunk clothing, awesome, really fun.
Do you know, I have questions for you about that.
Please.
Do you know, that's good. And do you know, it just coincidentally, I was listening to NPR just a few days ago.
Yeah?
And they had someone on discussing steampunk.
Oh, that's
and I'd vaguely heard of that term before, but,
Yeah.
but they went into detail. It was fascinating.
It's extremely fun. It's like this underground sort of society that lives in real life, sort of. It's really fun. I like the gadgets that they bring and the clothing, and
wow.
it's kind of like dressing up, and it's really fun.
Yeah, I guess so. It's sort of like Renaissance Fair.
Yeah.
Where people get into the whole thing by dressing in the period.
I've never been. They sound wonderful.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Do they have turkey legs?
Yeah,
actually. I want a giant turkey leg. They're my
corn
favorite.
on the cob.
Oh, perfect. My other favorite food.
Well, but everything about it, I don't know why, though. It's very interesting. I don't know why. This last couple of years, I noticed that when Renaissance fairs are mentioned in other sitcoms or shows and whatnot, they tend to be trashing it for some reason, that it's uncool.
Yeah, and that's sad, because I want to go. Is it uncool of me that I want to go,
no,
Jason?
No,
okay, good. All right, well, I was just researching e-cigarettes, and for those of you who are not familiar with e-cigarettes, they're an odorless, smokeless cigarette, and they're ashless too. And the study that I read says that they are less harmful than normal cigarettes, and that one canister is, $2 compared to a pack of cigarettes, and it lasts for a pack of cigarettes, so it's 20 cigarettes per little vial. But I was wondering your thoughts, because cigarette ads were taken off television and taken away from being able to be put in magazines, and here they are again, back on the TV and back in the magazines, because they're an e-cigarette and they're less harmful and they're less odorless. And what do you think? You
know what I think? It's fascinating how so many things are interconnected. We were talking earlier about magazines and newspapers, how they are suffering their bottom line, and quite a few are going out of business or expect to be because of the terrible competition that they're having from the internet.
Yeah, the internet's taken over.
But can you imagine just this development of electronic cigarettes? If they're now allowed to advertise in newspapers and magazines, it could save magazines and newspapers.
That's a perfect thought, yeah, because they have to pay to be in there, and wow, that's great. Maybe
wouldn't that be something?
Maybe it will benefit everybody.
So the thing is, the reason why cigarette companies were banned from advertising in magazines in so many places was because of the health danger.
Yeah.
But there's very little health danger in these electronic cigarettes. We were talking earlier that it only has about 1% of the harmful chemicals as cigarettes. Now, that sounds pretty safe.
That's a good step forward. It's a great step forward, especially for those who don't smoke. Their environment is a little bit more safe than, you know, they were before with people smoking around them. And now that it's just vapor that comes out, you're not risking as much as you were before smoking a regular standard cigarette.
And I guess they'll really catch on, because now the smokers, they won't have to go out back near the trash cans.
Right. No.
They can actually stay in the restaurant.
You could stay in the restaurant. Yes, I've seen people in the bars lately. Even though it's a banned, you can't have cigarettes in the bar, people are still using their e-cigarettes, and it's not offending anyone. No one's getting kicked out. They're allowed.
They are?
Yeah, they're allowed in places that don't allow regular, normal smoking. They allow e-cigarettes.
Well, I think it's going to be a winner.
I think it's going to win. I think it's definitely taking off, especially, like you said, with the advertisements.
All right. In keeping with our eclectic show, this is my topic of conversation, my first, food and cooking.
Oh, I love both.
All right. So, that being the case, what dishes do you most often cook? Not your favorite, but what do you tend to cook the most often?
Well, I live with a boy, so we cook a lot of nachos. That's always great for like anybody coming over. You can make a big heaping plate of nachos.
Wait, you mean like potato chip kind of things?
Yeah, just with chips and cheese.
You make them?
Yeah, we make big nachos.
How do you do that?
Make nachos at home? You just take all the tortilla chips and you put the meat on top and the cheese, and then you put it all in the oven. And you bake it.
I was thinking tortilla chips you made, like with dough or something.
Not my own homemade tortilla chips,
I
no.
see.
But you can if you cut up potatoes.
But that's what nachos are? It's like a chip with some kind of meat and cheese on it?
It's just a super simple, everyday item that I can have, especially when it's sports season coming up.
Okay.
Nachos are great, and it's good for groups. People can just feed off it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see. I got some more questions for you
Okay.
here. What about cooking is the most difficult for you?
Cooking that's most difficult for me is, I think, just measuring everything accurately and getting the supplies. I always go to get the supplies, and I forget 2 or 3 things every time.
That's right.
And you have to have them. You can't skip.
I agree. I forgot about that. For me also.
Yeah.
To have to round up all of these things.
All of the things.
For the more complicated recipes.
Right.
And then dishes.
And then the dishes, yes. I have a dishwasher, which helps a lot. But I mean, still, you want to eat first, and then once you're full, you don't want to go back to your dishes. You're full. You want to relax.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's another downfall.
I wonder if it's my defective dishwasher, if this is all of them. Do you have to kind of roughly scrub first,
every
then
time.
put them in?
Every time, yeah. I give it a nice soapy water bath and then put it in the dishwasher.
Right.
I don't trust it.
No, because if I just put it in, dishes in,
yeah.
When I take them out, half of them are ready to be put on the shelf, and the other half have to go through the dishwasher.
They have to go through again. Yeah, that's same for me. I have the same problem.
All right, so what else? What's the simplest dish? Well, I guess the nachos, right?
Yeah, my nachos are really simple, yeah. Another simple dish is just buying a frozen pizza. I don't have to do anything.
Well, the oven.
Oh, yeah, but I'm cool with preheating an oven.
Well, for me, the simplest dish would be tuna fish.
Oh.
Like if I have rice already cooked,
yeah.
I'll mix tuna and rice and some mayonnaise, lemon juice, and soy sauce. And
that is really easy.
Yeah.
That's super easy.
Or an avocado.
An avocado's great. Yeah. I love avocados. They're so good.
And then sometimes if I want to make it vegetables from a can.
Oh, good. That will definitely increase.
Let's see. Is there a special food that you have in mind someday that you would like to make?
I love the recipes out there that involve making creative items out of your food. So there are tomatoes. You can just skin a tomato and roll it up, and there'll be little roses. So I want to make a spaghetti plate and put little roses all over it. Yeah, and I think that would be fun, just to like include fun in your food, but still it's meant to be with the spaghetti, the tomato, so it makes sense too.
Do you ever watch cooking shows?
I like Cupcake Boss. So, like baking shows. I watched a couple cooking shows. They just inspired me to go out, but again, I always forget an ingredient, so I can never make the food the way it looks on the TV.
Did you ever watch that movie about Julia Child's life?
No! Tell me about it.
It was a couple years ago. It was one of the hot movies.
I'm unfamiliar.
Oh, it was great. She went to France with her husband. She was just a housewife. He worked for the government, I think. And she started taking cooking classes just to have something to do.
Yeah.
And she became her life, her passion.
So cool.
It was a very interesting movie.
Yeah, it sounds very interesting.
Well, let's see. What else? Any secrets to good cooking?
I have no secrets to good cooking. I'm not the best chef.
Well, that's all I've got on cooking.
Yeah. Okay, moving on.
All right, you're up next.
All right. Well, I read a sort of an interesting article. You're familiar with the website Yelp?
Yes.
All right. Well, I read an article saying that American inmates are using the site Yelp to use it as, rating the service of prisons and reviewing prisons. So they're looking at it to see reviews of the prisons they're going into, and they're using it to rate them. And I thought that was crazy because it's mostly used for companies and, nice establishments, and then boom, prisons are on there.
Well, you know what? Well, when you say inmates, prison, people in jail.
Yeah.
Which you mentioned, prisons. Actually, it makes good sense because I imagine someone is convicted.
Yes.
They've gone through trial. Who knows? It could be a few months. And now they have to go back to court for their sentencing. And I imagine there is some kind of deals that they make. I don't know where the defendant's lawyer would ask for a certain prison over another in exchange for something. I don't know what. As part of the negotiation. So
yeah.
I suppose having a site like this where they could read reviews about which prisons might be less unpleasant than others makes good sense.
Yeah, it does. I think for them, you want to watch out maybe who you're going with, and they've stated on there, make sure you tell them that you have a medical condition so you can get double portions, and they tell you, watch out for the officers there or whatnot. They might not be very good.
The guards?
The guards, yeah.
Oh, one prison over another prison?
Right, yeah, so they can look at that and, kind of watch out where to go. I mean, not that prison's safe to begin with, but maybe Yelp is helping them. And it's bringing it to the public's attention, which is also good.
Well, that's good, too, because prisons that are unsafe, unhealthy, where maybe it's a little more cruel than another prison, it's good for the public to know about that. So they could...
Yeah, I think it's kind of eye-opening.
And not to have enough food unless you say you're...
I know! That's horrifying.
I
mean, I know what it feels like to be hungry, and I don't enjoy it. So.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I was hungry last Tuesday. I experienced that.
No.
Yeah.
Not a good feeling.
Until I had lunch.
Yeah.
And that was good. All right. Is that it?
Oh, that's it for
for Yelp?
For Yelp, yeah.
All right. It's back to me.
Back to you, please, Jason.
All right. Our next topic that's totally different from the others. Let's see here. Newspapers and magazines, well, like we mentioned just before, they're on hard times because, so many people just get their news on their iPod or iPad.
I get it on I look at my tablet every morning for the news.
So who's going to buy a newspaper?
I don't use them.
But anyway, when you do read magazines or newspapers, where and when does that happen for you?
If I'm going to read a newspaper, it's probably just because I was able to pick it up from one of those free stands.
Oh.
And I grab a newspaper sometimes just because of the cover story is really interesting. So I would just read them at a coffee shop or something where it's there already.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I like to go to coffee shops, and I love to read the paper there while I'm getting coffee.
It's a perfect spot to read the paper. You can enjoy your coffee too, which is great.
Exactly. Well, now these ones that are free in the stands, these alternative newspapers.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned before you like one of those.
Yeah, I like the Isthmus. I hope I'm saying that correctly. It's a local Madison magazine. It's just got really creative stories, and it's very edgy. So it has its own opinions, and it's kind of fun to read.
It's clever writing.
It's clever writing, yeah. It's, I guess, what do you call it? Inviting fun writing. I don't know. They use fun words, and they use interesting sayings. It's really fun. Yeah,
and also they have local events. They'll have a calendar of what's going on in town, and movie reviews and movie listings, and some ads in the back.
Yeah, they have a few ads in there too. Yeah.
All right, what else we have here? Well, what about college students? This is a college town.
Yeah.
What would you say are the most popular magazines for male and female students? Presumably they have different magazines that they like.
I think the female students are probably looking more at the fashion magazines or like the gossipy magazines. And the guys, you know, I have to say that I'm thinking they're still looking at Esquire. If they're going to a magazine, they're looking at magazines like Esquire. They have interesting stories from a men's point of view. They have beautiful women, which are great. They talk about cars. You can't go wrong with cars if you're a man, for the most part. So I think that just kind of situational. So females more of the fun, glitzy glamour, and the men more of the hot rod.
All right.
What do you think about college? What do you think college students are reading?
Well, I agree with as far as female students.
Yeah.
As far as the males, though, I don't know about Esquire. It just doesn't seem like unless it's changed and it's become popular with that age bracket. But I would have thought Playboy and Penthouse and all those things, but they get all that online.
Yeah, so. All the internet is taking over for basically everything. I mean, even my student books, I'm buying them online now and reading them online instead of getting hard copies.
You know what? I heard about that. It's less expensive, I assume.
Yeah, it's less expensive, which is my main reason for buying it. Yeah, less expensive. It's like eco-friendly, not printing off a book anymore. Right. It's easy to read. Yeah.
I wonder how much cheaper it is.
I think mine was a pretty significant difference, like a $20 to $40 difference.
Well, but they tend to cost like $150 a textbook, so it's about a third off.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, it's amazing that the price of textbooks. I mean, you go on Amazon and you buy any book for $10, $20. Textbooks, it must be that textbook companies have some kind of monopoly type arrangement.
Yeah.
Where they make arrangements with the college, and the college requires this textbook or this textbook, and you have no choice.
You have no choice. Yeah, you have to have a book.
And not only that, but they seem to change it. Like next year, it's edition 8.
Mm-hmm, yep.
You can't buy last year's.
You can't get last year's. Nope, you'll be totally out of the loop if you get the wrong book.
And they added a few paragraphs or something.
Yeah.
You know, that's a real unfortunate strain for college students that are paying.
I agree.
Paying hefty fees for tuition and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for newspapers and magazines.
Well, there is another interesting article I read, and it's about clothing. We all like clothing.
Okay.
And it was a company called Wool and Prints. They're an American company, and they say that they've created a shirt that will not contain any odor, and it's wrinkle-proof, so you can shove it in your gym bag if you wanted to, and it can stand 100 days without being washed.
Well, that's perfect for travelers.
Perfect for travelers. It's perfect for me. I don't want to wash my clothes all the time.
Yeah, I know, me too. But you know what? You take a trip. It's wrinkle-free, so you can roll them up tight. Mm-hmm. Put in whatever you need, and for your whole trip, you don't have to do laundry.
Which is so ideal, I think. You don't have time to be doing your clothes if you're on a trip.
I think it's going to depend on the fashions, though, because no matter about this, if it doesn't look good, I don't see people.
Yeah, and it's like a wool. I think it's made of some sort of wool material, too, so we have to wonder like how comforting.
Oh, I'm sorry. So this is just a material.
I know, it's an actual shirt, but made out of a certain material that makes...
But if it would be a fabric factory that would sell this to all the different manufacturers that would make all different kinds of clothing, that's one thing. But if they specifically make just their line may not be appealing at all.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, let's have our fashion minute.
Okay, our fashion minute.
Yeah.
Well, what I saw for spring, they're saying bold stripes are definitely in, and a lot of skirt and t-shirt pairing is really fun. Tiny sweaters with fun, exciting slogans on them, sometimes insulting slogans because they're fun. And shirt dresses are definitely the shorter the dress, the better for spring.
Shirt dresses, do they have a belt?
Some of them do, but a lot of them are just like built high-waisted, so the belt is already basically in there for you. Yeah, and then it flows out at the bottom to give you a nice hourglass figure, even if you aren't rocking one. It will give it for you.
But you said shirt dress.
Yeah, a shirt dress is just like the button-up shirts, but it looks like it's just a really long.
But it starts up at your shoulders.
Yeah.
And comes down.
Yep, all the way down. Mm-hmm.
All right, and you said bold stripes or?
Yeah, bold stripes, just big, thick, chunky stripes on your skirts, on your tops.
Vertical?
Horizontal.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, now that's
I know.
That's supposed to be what you don't wear if you're overweight.
Well,
you're supposed
that's
to wear vertical.
They say that you want to wear vertical stripes if you're
overweight.
But I don't necessarily know. I think it depends on the shirt and the style of the shirt, the cut of the shirt.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
That takes care of our fashion moment. Fashion minute.
Fashion minute.
All right, that brings us to music.
Okay.
All right.
Love music.
How do you judge a good song?
I judge a good song by the way it makes me feel. Yeah. And it's the first time, too. If I don't feel it the first time, it's kind of hard to go back to it. But I judge a good song by its first appeal to my ear. If it makes me happy.
Same with me. I'll go on Songs or Pandora, one of those. Yeah. Where they'll let you play it. So I'll just do the first 10, 20 seconds, and maybe I'll skip a spot to go further in.
Perfect.
But if it doesn't grab me right then I'm on to the next one.
Yeah, then you move to the next one. I do the same thing. I want to pick the best.
What's more important, the lyrics or the tune?
Well, that's really tough. But I think for me, it's probably the tune because that's what gets me first, and then I learn the lyrics later. I probably know a lot of songs, but don't know a lot of lyrics to them.
Some are hard to make out, actually.
Yeah, until you read it. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then
Same
it comes
for me.
Together.
It's the tune first.
Yeah, tune first.
Because I have to like that.
Yeah.
And pretty much no matter what the lyrics are, some I'll really love. I think they're clever.
Right.
Ones I'll be lukewarm on. But if they have really obnoxious lyrics, I guess I could can the song at that point, even if I like the tune.
Even if you like the tune. Yeah, I agree with that. If the lyrics are kind of out there, you're like, what am I listening to?
What do you think in general it takes for a song to become popular, as in millions of sales?
I think in this day and age, I think it just depends on who your record label is. I don't even know if it's just the sound anymore. I think it's just who's putting the money behind the CD.
You're right. It's the marketing.
Yeah,
that's really what's going to be the bottom line of why something sells.
That's exactly what I think right now for the music that's current, at least on the radios. It's definitely.
Now, how about this? Now, you're a student.
I'm a student, yes.
All right. So, you'd like to have some music in the background.
Yeah.
What type of music, or what music, do you tend to favor when you're studying?
I have a huge variety of music that I listen to. I think it's just because I grew up listening to a lot of different things, but then I had my own personality, so I tried to get into my own music. But I really like an artist. Her name's LP. So I really like listening to her. She's got a really beautiful twist, but kind of like throw some opera in there too, because her mom had an opera background. So that was nice. Otherwise, fun. I like Kimbra. Kimbra's really fun. She's a good artist. Just any music. I have Radioactive playing in the background sometimes by Imagine Dragons.
It's amazing how many music groups there are out
There's so many.
Thousands.
Yeah, and I probably only listen to like a couple songs per artist too, so I have a lot of artists I listen to, but only a few songs that I know by them.
Well, I mean, the way that people now can get music online, it can be anybody who just started last week.
Yeah.
And they can get as much coverage as, somebody that's more famous. They're just everywhere.
That's totally true.
Which is wonderful for everybody, for the artists, for the public. It's
incredible.
Good times.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. That was studying. Do you like happy songs or sad songs in general?
I prefer a happy song, but if I'm feeling sad, I will put on a sad song. I think just to keep it with the mood. I like to fit it. There's actually if you type in songs by emotion on Google, you'll get this little list that pops up. You can click on this website and you can go to songs and you can click by emotion. Like I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling disturbed, and then there's lists.
That is clever. I have to do that.
You have to do it. You had a lot of fun with that site because I literally used it. Like, I'm happy. Click, and you literally felt happy. I think it was also it told me I wanted to be happy listening to it, so it boosted that. So it was kind of exciting.
It's a way to get out of a mood that's not.
Yeah,
desirable.
Definitely. If you're not feeling very nice and you want to be happy, and if you can't think of something that you already know that's going to put you there, new music can do that for you.
I love that.
Google it. Just Google songs.
Songs
for emotion. Songs by emotion.
By emotion. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Well, let's see here. What do we have here now? have you met any new people because of music? I don't know what that means. Like you happen to be in a music store and you get talking to someone.
Oh, that's, yeah, like if you're at like a record store or something and you find a vintage record.
Do they have any of those anymore?
They do. They're slowly shutting down all my record stores around and just see them closing. But I don't know. My boyfriend does music. He just graduated with a producing degree. So I have met a few of his friends that do vocals and a few of artists through him. But yeah.
You forgot one. We both met somebody.
Oh, we did.
A couple of weeks ago, we had a musician on the show, and she was great. Her music was so good.
So fantastic.
And we hope to have her on in the future.
Yes, we hope to have you back, Karen.
Yes. And not only that, but she's going to be at Froth House.
Oh.
It's a cafe.
Yep. She will be there.
Sometime next week or two. I forgot.
It's coming up.
It's
done already.
No, it didn't happen.
Okay, I was like, if it...
No, because I went on her Facebook page.
Okay, great.
And I, whatever you called it, I signed up for it.
You liked it? You followed her on Facebook?
Well, I signed up saying I was coming.
Fantastic. On her event list?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's only a few blocks away.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
All
right, so let's see here. What about old songs compared with new songs?
That is like a mood thing, I think, because sometimes I just really want to listen to Pink Floyd or Led Zeppelin and just listen to my old music. But there are times, and it's situational too, if I'm with my friends, I kind of want to listen to fun, upbeat music because that's kind of what they're into. Yeah, I guess it depends on who I'm with and what my mood is. But I like both old music and new music.
Well, now, when you listen to old music, does it seem like, does it bring back old memories?
It does songs bring back memories. Some sad, some really fun, some just funny. But yeah, songs can be situational. I can go to a song and just remember eating ice cream in a car with a friend or something, or breaking up with a boyfriend and just listening to the song over and over to get through this breakup. So yeah, do you have the same thing with music? Do you relate them to life events?
Yeah, definitely. Some.
Yeah, some. Not every song I listen to.
Yeah, it just must be a human nature thing.
I think so.
All right. Well, this is an old question. How many CDs and tapes do you have? Nobody has those anymore.
I don't have many. I have some old ones. I actually remember being younger and taping stuff off the radio with cassette tapes, and that's crazy now because no one would know what I was talking about now.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
How really in a fairly short span of time?
Very short span.
There's been all these generations of improvement in music.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting.
Music devices.
Yeah, I like that I can put, days worth of songs on a device like that big.
Isn't that something?
It's so cool.
What about music concerts?
Oh, yeah. I love concerts. The last concert I went to was Elton John, and it was amazing. I just like the environment of a concert, and I always love getting merch. I always love getting T-shirts at the end.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. Do you go to concerts? Have you been to a concert recently?
It's been a year or two, but yeah, they're nice. I like outdoor ones.
Yeah. Do you do like Summerfest or anything? Like the big
I did.
Events?
I went to Irish Fest. It's for our viewers. That's I don't know. They get 100,000 people there.
Yeah.
It's in Milwaukee, in a giant park.
Yeah.
They had I don't know how many stages, and I like Irish music, so it was really nice.
That's awesome. Yeah. Perfect event for you.
Yeah, and they also have, they have music at all these outdoor festivals, these little towns and whatnot in southern Wisconsin. There's different places that they have. Scottish Fest I went to.
Yeah, they have Polish Fest too. I went to Polish Fest and worked at a sunglasses hut, but got to hear all the Polish music and see all the dancing. Yeah, it was really fun. It's kind of cool.
Actually, at Irish Fest, I was working a food place that
really?
was serving beer and Irish coffee and
That's
things like
awesome.
that. It made it more fun.
Yeah.
And then it was a volunteer thing.
I worked for mine.
So I didn't have to be there that much, but it was fun to be part of the action, the busyness. And then I could go off and listen to music.
That's so cool.
Well, let's see here now. What else is left? Do you like singing?
What's that?
Do you like singing?
I like singing. I love singing. It makes me happy. Do I think I'm good at it? No. Sometimes I think I'm good, but then I record it and realize it's not up to par.
Do you play an instrument?
No. I think I should, though. I've got these crazy fingers, and I feel like I could do piano or guitar. Right. But guitar hurts so bad on the fingertips.
So you get used to it.
Yeah, it's very terrifying. So when I start, I get 2 or 3 weeks into it, and then I quit. Yeah. I can play Secret Agent Man on the guitar.
Keyboards are nice.
Yeah.
They're relatively portable. And it's smooth on your fingers.
Yeah. And the keyboard.
Hey guys, we just hit, that's like 32 minutes, so.
All right.
Awesome. You guys?
Oh.
Yeah, if you guys want to wrap up.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, well, let's see. That brings us to karaoke. Last thing.
Karaoke.
Do you ever go to those karaoke
I
bars?
do karaoke every now and then, and it's better with friends. Always better with friends. But yeah, I go, and I, you know, I have a couple of favorite songs.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you go? Do you have a favorite?
You know, one of the alders here, that's like a city congressperson or whatever you would call it, here in Madison. She has a karaoke band.
Cool.
Or something like that.
No way.
What do they call that? Cover bands.
Cover bands, yeah.
But she
Love
does
them.
karaoke also. And sometimes she has parties once or twice a year at her house, big parties where the band plays.
Oh, wow.
So that's my last experience with that. Oh, that's right. And people would come up on stage, and they had a karaoke thing there.
Yeah, and then you can read it off. If you didn't know it already, you have lyrics in case you went up there and did a song you were unfamiliar with. But
it's fun. You feel like a star.
It's so fun. I sang some Salt and Pepper, you know. I sang some
nice.
Journey. So really fun.
Well, this was fun, speaking of fun.
We did have fun today.
Yeah, but we're out of time, so thanks for tuning in. I hope you'll join us next week for another episode of NewsDesk on Channel 95 or Channel 991 or YouTube, NewsDesk WYOU. This is Jason Miller and
Heather Wilson.
bye for now.